Hello everyone, it's Oliver Harper here, and I'm back again with Brad Watson for another commentary. And today it's on...
Goonies! Yay!
Another Spielberg classic, and obviously Richard Donner classic.
Yep.
And in a similar vein to Indiana Jones, I thought, this would be another good one to cover, because it's another movie we all kind of grew up on. And yeah, I think it stood up the test of time, I think.
I think so. I mean, it's definitely a movie that's loved more by the people that grew up with it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't loved by the adults at the time, that's for sure. But it was definitely a very specific generation movie. But I love it. And I've showed it to my niece and nephew when they were kids and they loved it. You know, I think it's still got that timeless quality of these kind of movies, the early ambling stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, folks, if you wish to sync the commentary with your own copy of the film, put the timestamp to 0 and press play now. Surprisingly, this Blu-ray doesn't actually go to the menu; it just goes straight into the movie.
All right.
I was like, "Oh shit, pause quick!"
Old school. Look at that! Look, skull and crossbones. Come on.
If it was more recent, that Warner Brothers logo would morph into
become a skull.
the Bat logo, like Batman Forever. Or whatever.
We go ooh, but I like this.
I often kind of missed when it was on TV. I always missed this a little bit. With the logo, I thought, wait.
Okay, well, don't get me started on the TV version of this, because I remember as a kid when it first came on TV, and because I knew the film pretty well, because I had it on VHS, that this scene was so cut out. As soon as the movie started, it was so edited that I just threw a paddy and walked out.
Really?
Yeah, I just threw a paddy and went to my mum and dad. I went, go watch this! Because because you didn't see, they wouldn't show you the depiction of him hung.
Oh.
And so they completely cut it out, and you just had no idea what was going on. And I was like, I can't watch this.
Yeah, because it always shows during the day, didn't they? You know, It was that's how I think most kids saw it. I probably saw the cut version as well, but I mean the DVD, I believe, it's a 12. The Blu-ray is, sorry, but I thought to myself, was it a 15 at some point? I don't think so. But they swear a lot. They say the word shit. And,
this is one of those. This is a typical movie that is used to depict how 80s kids movies used to be. You know, that there was swearing, that it was violent, there was people dying, there was it was all that they weren't sanitized.
No.
But it's great. It's wonderful. It's really good fun.
This is probably Donner's first big movie after Superman, because he did Radio Flyer, smaller movies, and then back onto the big blockbuster kind of territory.
He did Radio Flyer, and
then after this was Lethal Weapon.
I think Lady Hawk was.
Oh, that was it.
I think it was the same year.
I think same year. Yeah.
Lady Hawk with its groovy score.
A lot of people don't like the Lady Hawk score.
I know.
People despise it.
I simultaneously despise and love it.
Yeah,
I actually love it, but it's just so wrong.
I hated it.
It just doesn't work.
The more I listened to it, I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, this
is a great opening sequence.
This music here is, the theme from the Goonies has been used in trailers, hasn't it? Like Inner Space.
I remember it on the Inner Space trailer.
There was something online. It said a film called Guarding Tess, which I've never seen. I've never seen the trailer for it. So we have to sort of go on faith on that. Sort of if it was used.
But this is just a great to start a movie,
Oh yeah, fucking shootout.
Yeah,
and it's a great because it as how it's been directed. The police chase occurs as it goes through the town. We are introduced each character and what they're doing at the same time.
Yeah. I fancied her. I really did fancy her.
Yeah, all the lads fancied her.
Yeah.
Which is apparently a role that was Heather Langenkamp had auditioned for it.
That's right, yeah.
She was apparently too old and got very upset when they turned her down. And I think Spielberg tried to apologise and offered her a part in Jurassic Park, which she turned down in favour of New Nightmare, which I'm sure she probably regretted.
Yep.
But
here he is, Corey Feldman.
Feldman.
Yeah.
Great little. Well, he was in. What was it?
The way he doesn't move his head as soon as he it's like, okay, move your face.
Yeah.
Stop. Okay, don't.
Was he in? Which Friday the 13th was it? Number 3 or 4?
Oh, I believe it's 3. I believe it's 3. I'm not. Yeah.
And then he he was in Gremlins. For a small role.
Yep.
Then he became a superstar, didn't he? Really?
Yep.
In the later part of the 80s. Oh, he's so good, isn't he?
Yep. I remember watching this. Okay, I was the target audience for this movie. I really was. I was a little kid watching this movie, and I remember the audience loving this. Everyone was just in hysterics. Everyone loved it. It's so good. It's such a great tone-setting sequence. You know,
all set in Oregon.
And I would die to make a movie that starts like this. You know, I love it.
Because you were saying that this, wasn't really appreciated by the critics at the time, the adults.
No,
I think due to
mainly because it was
how the kids were depicted.
Mainly because all they could hear was loads of kids yelling over each other, and they couldn't. And it was just like a cacophony of, which is.
It's how kids talk.
And I love it, and I think that it and it's kind of a lot more. That kind of filmmaking is done a lot more since. I think, but it's but I'm all for it, and I certainly like to employ it where people talk over each other, but what you've got to do is in the sound mix, you've got to make sure you pick out the important words. Yeah, make sure they come through, and the audience know exactly what's going on. But it feels like exposition is being depicted to you naturally.
See, he's got Superman bed sheets.
Yeah,
I think I had those as a kid. Mm-hmm. See, this is a proper 80s bedroom for a kid.
This is a real 80s bedroom.
There's no The Thing poster.
Yeah. It's like, hey, Mikey, what's your favourite movie? John Carpenter's The Thing. Really? No, it isn't. Because you never saw it. And you wouldn't know about it probably until for another 4 years. It's like, yes, that you always know it's a fake 80s bedroom when kids have The Thing posters in it.
It's got Mad Magazine as well.
Yeah, look, there's no posters or anything. Like it says Superman bed sheets and that's it. Which obviously is a reference to Richard Donner.
Yeah, exactly.
Directed Superman.
This was Josh. Was this Josh Brolin's first movie?
Possibly. Yeah.
I mean, his obviously father was in Westworld,
and many others.
Yeah, many others. Yeah, which is a weird thing. If you look at his father, especially in Westworld, he looks a lot like Christian Bale. It's
right.
Weird. Hey, Mikey.
Hey, Mickey.
It's just as sort of the cross chatter, but also it's the banter between them. Like because he obviously likes to wind up Josh Brolin all the time, Corey's character's mouth.
Yeah.
Any opportunity to sort of to insult him.
But I say that the adults didn't like this, but I can tell you for a fact my dad loved it. When my dad first saw it, he thought it was fantastic.
I'm sure, I may be incorrect on this, but I'm sure Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel thought it was kind of a third-rate Indiana Jones, because it was, it didn't have the. I mean, ultimately, if you compare the Indiana Jones sequences of the sort of tomb raiding or whatever, they're not quite as elaborate as.
No,
they're more elaborate. Sorry, than Goonies. I think the Goonies it's a little bit doesn't quite have the scale in some parts. But I think to a kid though, it's the sense of. What they do in this movie is get on their bikes, thundering off down into the town, going to the beach, whatever. It's those little moments like Stand By Me and things like that where they capture an element of these kids doing what they do.
That concept of, when you grow up in those times, that concept of a group of friends getting on their bikes and going off on an adventure was, it resonated so much.
Oh yeah,
you all imagined that whenever you went out on your bikes with your mates in the school holidays, you all imagined that you were going out on an adventure. You're going to find treasure or something.
Or find something of interest, Just I love this bit when he slams the door in his face. You turd! He's like,
you turd.
Well, apparently, because when he lifted up his shirt, he said Jeff Cohen, the guy who plays Chunk, he'd had chickenpox when he did this.
Oh, right, yeah, that's right.
You can't see, other than covered up with makeup, boy, it wasn't that extreme, but he was worried that he would be basically fired and recast.
Yeah, I think he went through.
There you go. Is his arm there?
Oh yeah.
He has got chickenpox.
Yeah. But his sister did.
But his sister did. He's like.
So Ki Hai Kwan, who's a short round, obviously the year before,
being James Bond fan, obsessed with gadgets like his father, who's a kind of unsuccessful inventor, isn't he? and his kind of son is kind of following suit, but he's got his own inventions that only kind of work briefly.
Yeah.
This is one of my favourite moments because I say their mum's favourite piece is the penis. It breaks off and he sticks it upside down.
No, that's my mum's favourite piece.
Looks fine to me.
Yeah. Yeah, see, it's they're rude. Kids are rude. Kids
Kids swear.
Yeah,
they talk bollocks.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's more about morality. These guys, the friendship of these kids and how they stand by each other and how they do this.
It's the situation they're put in is that the rich kid, Troy, and his father's bought all this land. He's going to demolish everything. It's like, how do you get away with this? Surely these properties must be listed or something. I don't think he's destroying all the properties to build new houses. Wasn't it? Or was he building something?
No, it's
else?
It's a country club. Yeah, they're building a golf course.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit extreme. I don't think even the council would allow that. Corruption.
Well, it's the 80s.
Yeah.
But
capitalism. I love this bit where he sort of stuffs his mouth full of crisps and she goes, "What is that?" And it's just like, "Oh shit, what?" She thinks it's like, oh no, she spotted the penis upside down, but it's the crisps on the floor. And obviously, their mum is the psychiatrist from Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, Mrs. Zemeckis at the time.
Oh, yes.
Married to Robert Zemeckis.
And she was obviously in Die Hard as a news reporter. And she's, I can't remember what else she's been in. She's a familiar face, wasn't she, of those kind of Donna movies?
Yeah.
Pops up now and again.
Yeah.
Separate the drugs. Well, Jeff Cohen, didn't he become like a sort of a lawyer?
He's a lawyer, yeah. Well, Richard Donner paid for him to go to, paid for his education. Yeah. Which I don't think anyone knew about until fairly recently. When he a tribute to Richard Donner, he told everyone. See, this is a kids' movie, and you got this kid telling the handmaid all about where the drugs go and the torture devices, and it's funny.
Well, Donner said the kid. He said it was wonderful working with the kids, but when they were all together, they became very unruly. So they're trying to manage all that. Yeah. But apparently, Sean Astin said in a biography he did a number of years ago that Spielberg did direct some scenes.
I think Spielberg was very hands-on with this movie.
He's very poltergeist.
Yeah. Well, probably not quite so at that. No, I think he didn't take over, but he was. I think Richard Donner said that Spielberg was always there, and that he might just be publicity, but he said that he didn't mind that at all because he had great ideas. Yeah, look, she's watching. There's a lot of little subtle things like that I love.
Because it's also got that ET vibe, isn't it? The family kind of dynamic, in ET, where there is this kind of back and forth, really quick delivery of their dialogue.
Yeah, it's great. Things like that where she goes, "You'll be in the absolute deepest, the deepest." Shit, ma. I don't like the words, but that's exactly what you'll be in.
But they're swearing in front of her. That she doesn't. She's just completely unfazed by it. Oh, I love Chunk. Well, Sean Astin, he did okay with his career, didn't he? I mean, he did. He was in Memphis Belle.
Rudy.
Yeah, California Man. When Americans say it was Encino Man. That's a different name in America.
Right.
It wasn't called California Man.
Yeah.
Americans also get very confused when they talk about that film. They're like, what? And obviously, I think to most people, our generation, we knew him from Goonies, but I think the new generation, he is. Bilbo. Not Bilbo. Fucking Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah.
From Lord of
Well,
the
I
Rings.
think, but I think in the States, and people can correct me if they're wrong, that he became more iconic as Rudy. I think Rudy was a very big movie, an iconic film,
right,
and he was with an amazing Jerry Goldsmith score, by the way.
Ooh.
Absolutely fantastic Goldsmith score. But anyway, but he would pop up in significant things every now and then.
And obviously he played a part in Stranger Things season 1.
Yeah.
Which I thought
Season
was,
2.
And was it season 2?
Season 2, yeah.
Oh, what's season 1? Well, you know, in season 1 he dies.
No, season 2.
Disagree.
I'm sure it's season 2.
No.
People can. No. We'll soon find out when one of our heads is delivered by the internet.
How dare you?
But of course, this is Stranger Things is trying to.
It's
trying to riff off
all of
this sort of stuff.
Yeah, which they do very successfully. I think with the sort of, as you was the cross chatter and the banter between them and the sort of the sort of subtle put downs they'll give each other, but also just sort of show the enthusiasm for what they're doing.
Yeah.
And Goonies has that. Stranger Things does it extremely well, and this is.
Yeah. But I will say that aesthetically, the movie that obviously came out the same year that was similar but a complete flop, which is Joe Dante's Explorers. I would say aesthetically that captures it even more.
I did, yeah. Because the Explorers always kind of eluded me for a long time because it was a bomb, and I didn't really ever saw it repeated. And I tried to find it on different video formats, and it was always, I don't think it's even out. I don't think it's out on Blu-ray. Maybe it is now, but last time I saw it was an HD on Netflix. I watched it, and Brad had already told me the problematic production it had, all like it was the editing that occurred to it before its release, and the ending just kind of doesn't have the strength of what it was designed to do. I think how the film was set up.
But I still love it.
Brad still loves it. Yeah. I thought it was a good film. I thought it was good, but it is a bit flawed. But yeah, this is another film that sort of taps into the sort of youth of the past, and I think the Goonies. Spielberg's got his own little stories thrown in, weaving into it, like how the kids acted or what they did, and so did Donna. But this is also a script by Chris Columbus, who became, pretty famous for his sort of scripts that had children in it as part of the main story, like Home Alone, and essentially he would be the first to really bring Harry Potter to the big screen. He
directed
the
first two Harry Potters.
That series.
He directed Home Alone. He didn't write it because John Hughes wrote it.
Yes, right.
But at this period, he's kind of like he wrote the first cluster of Amblin movies, really, because he did this, he did Gremlins, and he did Young Sherlock Holmes.
And I mean, even though I think Chris Columbus is he's Harry Potter's, I think they're okay movies. I think the sequels they get better.
Yeah, he's done some great films and he's done some not so great films.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he did. I suppose Mrs. Doubtfire, isn't it?
Yeah, Mrs. Doubtfire obviously was a big success. And
I think it's this musical cue that always triggers those memories of Goonies.
Yeah,
when you hear it. Dave Grusin? He came on board to do this. He worked with many musicians. He produced music and I think jazz and orchestral stuff.
Yeah, he did a lot of stuff because I think he did the music for The Graduate and the Ferris Baker Boys. I think he did after this. And he did quite a few high-profile movies.
Because before recording this,
he won an Oscar as well.
We're kind of thinking, me and Brad were like, well, I suppose Williams wasn't asked to do this, or Goldsmith, and Goldsmith was 85 was like a big.
Yeah, he was. I think he was chocker.
And Williams
didn't seem to be doing anything, other than amazing stories.
So it must have been a personal choice for Donna to bring him in because Lady Hawk that year as well. He'd been listening to a lot of. What was this? Pop music by this artist, and brought him on to do Lady Hawk, and I think it kind of backfired with people with those creative decisions. But
Alan Parsons The Alan Parsons Project.
That's right. Yeah.
That's it. I was sitting there going, "What is it? What was it? What is it?
What is it?" But this is a combination of a bit of synth music with DX7 and mostly orchestral stuff, and there's some great Williams-esque moments to it. But when I go down the rapids, there's sort of I love that music.
Those fast strings and that, but I think the opening sequence is great. I think it's a great, perfect for this. But I do believe that when Sean Astin recalls the story, the tale of One-Eyed Willie, that I think Donna literally just told him the whole story and then asked him just to repeat it back as quickly as he could, as he remembered it. That's why he's doing that, like looking up, reaching into his mind as he's saying these things.
Oh, that's really clever.
Brilliant bit of child directing.
That's a bit of a Spielberg trick, isn't it?
Yeah, to do something like that. But Donna was a veteran director by now.
Yeah.
I mean,
as we sort of discovered that Spielberg was a huge fan of Donna, and he directed one of the best episodes of Twilight Zone.
Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, which was then remade by George Miller in the Twilight Zone movie. But he did loads of Kojak and
he did tons of TV.
Stuff.
Tons of TV. Learned his skills because he wanted to be an actor, didn't he? Donna did.
Yeah, I think he was a bit of an actor.
Then he sort of realised that his kind of skills were in directing, and that's what made him such a good director with working with actors, because he knows, how to speak to them.
Yeah,
how to get the best performances out of them, because he knew what it was like to deal with directors as an actor himself.
But this is where, Donna's a great example of a director that learnt his trade, learnt his craft, and graduated into the big leagues from television, a lot later in life, Yeah, he was in his 40s.
Yeah.
He wasn't like a young, superstar director at this time where that was kind of becoming a thing because of the Spielberg effect. He was a veteran, but his movies, as we say, Superman and Omen, Lethal Weapon, all of those movies are, they've got great energy to them. He's not one of those old school guys that is out of place.
Yeah, he didn't feel he was completely in touch with what was popular.
Yeah.
He knew how to get the right balance and tone and to appease the modern audience.
Yeah.
He was very much that contemporary world. He didn't feel like an old fart director taken on to do a sci-fi film, and never this felt like a guy's, it feels like a 20-year-old movie.
Yeah.
That was the sort of problem I always highlight when I discuss the Black Hole.
Yeah.
With people. It's made by veterans who are extremely talented but completely out of
Kroll
touch.
And things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Robert Wise, doing that
where
sort of stuff. Where you're Yates, whatever.
Yeah, whereas Donna wasn't one of those. I mean, he wasn't that old, but he was. He's
50s when he's doing that sort of stuff.
So he was. But he had a good energy to it, but plus he shoots great. He's got a great timeless feel to him. Very like Spielberg, and that he knows how to frame things up. He knows how to use the CinemaScope lens. That's for sure.
I love the bit because he goes, means you've got to go on a date with your mum as well, when she's got to drive.
Yeah.
Well, apparently Sean kept the map. He was given it. Donna said he could have it, I think, or maybe Spielberg.
All right.
But then his mother discovered it a couple of years later, and she thought it was rubbish and binned it.
Oh no!
It's a wonderful prop.
But look, it's got the notes on the back.
Yeah,
it's got the notes.
Teeing it up.
Yep.
Foreshadowing.
There's Cyndi Lauper doing her thing.
So I quite like this song, but Cyndi Lauper's music is always just a bit wacky and weird for me.
She did some nice songs, but then she did some crazy stuff as well.
Yeah, they all just seemed a bit too strange for me. But it fits this.
Yeah,
I mean, it works wonderfully when they get on their bikes and just go down into town and try and escape from their brother. Not that hard.
Get off me, chunk.
Oh, dear.
See, that's great. I mean, that's
wonderful. See, obviously the parents are putting on a tight budget. It kind of implies because
Yeah.
they didn't just buy him the bike. He had to do a lot of he had to do a lot of mowing a lot of lawns to get that.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. He just wanted a bike. It wasn't just like I want a bit of technology. You know.
Yeah.
Like
He just wants a bike. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No. Well, exactly. These guys aren't. They don't have money, which is why you've got the contrast of Troy and his dad.
I love his speakers. Ma'am.
He's a leader, just like, yeah.
Wait a minute. Is he wearing the Kyle Reese trainers from Terminator?
Oh, look,
they look very similar, don't they?
High ankle Nikes, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh God, what the hell's wrong with you people?
He calls for his mum. Oh dear. I mean, that's a great town, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd love to go there. You're like, that's from Goonies, that's from Goonies.
This is what Natchez kind of looks like, reminds me of. Yeah.
Ooh.
Harry Krishna.
That's exactly what I said. I don't know why he's wearing jogging bottoms with shorts over the top. I don't know why, but it seems to work.
Yeah, it's a thing. My bike. See, this is great. See, this was me and my mates on our bikes going out on adventure.
Oh, I loved all that stuff back in the summer.
Of course, our adventure would be to climb a tree.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what there wouldn't be much you could do around where I lived, really. I mean, there's an old Victorian school literally opposite my house we'd break into. It was ginormous. We all felt it was haunted.
Yeah. I especially remember a mate of mine, Kevin Beeman. We used to go out on our bikes to the local forest to go ghost hunting.
Ghost hunting?
Yeah.
There's a ghost. But that sort of time, though, would have been like probably like a 5-year, like 1990 to 95, you'd do like sort of stuff. But then video games would take over, really.
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't, the thought of doing all these things, maybe even earlier than that, because you sort of get to the point where it becomes uncool in some people's eyes.
Yeah.
Right.
Knows exactly what he's doing.
Oh, she's so good, isn't she? They're all great.
They are great.
Yeah.
They are great. No wonder you can't get a license.
Well, didn't she, the girl at the back, can't remember her name, I do apologise, folks. Didn't she
Martha
date
Plimpton.
River Phoenix?
Yeah, so yeah, she was in loads of films.
Yeah.
She's great in Parenthood.
I love her line later on. She goes, "I feel like I'm being babysitting, I'm not being paid."
Yeah. I feel like I'm babysitting, I'm not getting paid.
That's great. Only goes 85 miles per hour. It's not bad. Oh my god!
Oh my god! Poor guy.
I think my older sister Emma fancied Josh Brolin at this stage.
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty
think he
sure
had a bit
most
of a
of the
career
girls-
resurgence,
yeah.
didn't he? Because I didn't see him in stuff for years, and I saw him like playing a cop in like Mimic.
Yeah.
You know, and it was kind of a small role for him, but then it was the last number of years he just kind of shooting back.
Yeah.
And so many comic book movies, really.
Yeah.
He's
The Josh resurgence happened a few years ago.
Josh Brolin effect.
Yeah.
This
is not a good effect.
That was not a good optical. That was
Yeah.
always even watched that on
Yeah.
pan and scan
Yeah.
TV. It looked dreadful.
Yeah.
I was like, that looks rank.
Yeah.
But this doesn't have that many opticals in it, so it's only a small amount.
Yeah, there's not much blue screen and stuff. I mean, I think one of the best effects is is when they're doing the organ sequence and it's full.
Yeah, that looks
I
good.
think they look great.
Because you
Yeah.
can hide a lot of those kind of optical effects, kind of, because it's all dark, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's all studio stuff and matte paintings, but it looks great. Yeah, the effects work in daylight was always tricky.
Yeah,
Always
it was.
tricky during the optical days.
There's always that wonderful argument if you see sort of the Alien 3 making of from the DVD and Blu-rays, where the producer's saying we're going to be shooting this effect shot, and Dave Fincher's like, no, it's daytime, you can't do that, I'm not doing it, and they're just constantly back and forth saying yes and no, and he's like, you know, Fincher knew you can't do that, it won't look good.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because he had effects background.
I always thought it was only kind of Sean Astin's family and Data's, you know, sort of Kiko Kwan's, his kind of family, their characters' families would be suffering from this problem of their house being demolished for this golf course. But is it all of the kids?
I think it's all of the kids. I always got the impression it was the whole town.
Yeah, because it always to me, Mouth didn't seem too much of a concern. And so did Chunk. You know, it was like he just wants to go home and eat.
Yeah,
you know, he's not fussed.
Well, I think but I think that's just their characters. You know, Mouth is he's just blasé. Everything's just a joke to him, and Chunk just wants to eat.
Because I remember when I reviewed this, it was like because as you were saying at the start was that this movie was important to a certain generation who saw it at that time, who grew up watching it, you know, later part of the 80s, early 90s, and they love it because of it's that nostalgic feeling, and also it's that kind of, it captures part of that youth. You know, we all did these kind of things, but not on this kind of scale. But seeing it now, if you hadn't grown up on Goonies and you watched it now, does it work? And I felt it didn't quite work as well,
right?
Because the reactions from people when after they commented on my review, some people just like it doesn't work for them because they didn't have that nostalgic connection. So or saw it as a kid.
No, I definitely noticed that there's a lot of people that didn't grow up with this movie. They don't necessarily get it or like it. Not, you know, as opposed to, you know, Indiana Jones and some of the bigger timeless stuff of the same period. People that didn't grow up with it still, you know, would watch those movies and still love them. Yeah.
Well, this was for its anniversary, wasn't it? It was shown in 4K.
Was it
about a month or two ago? Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I totally missed it, but also it implies it's coming out.
That's a shame. I would have
4K soon.
Yeah, I would have gone to that, but I don't think I was in the country.
Yeah. You're in America.
You know, Robert Davi.
Which I didn't realise who had operatic sort of training singing.
Yeah.
And that's when he sees little moments where he does.
He's great.
Breaks out these songs, which are so really good. You know,
there's a great moment. Like if you've listened to the cast commentary with Richard Donner, Josh Brolin is hilarious when he talks about Robert Davi. Like because obviously he was an intense actor, like almost method, and all that stuff. You know, and he said there's one point where Robert Davi just leaned in and whispered in his ear, "I'm really gonna cut you." Oh, he didn't. He just made it up. He's like, yeah, this was a moment. He just leaned in and said, "I'm really gonna cut you." And then there's one ridiculous moment in the film where Josh Brolin just goes, right at this moment, Robert Davi really believes this is happening. It's like, it really endeared me to Josh Brolin. It was very funny. That's great.
But there was Robert Davi became this sort of.
Davi's
it was always kind of cameos and stuff.
Yeah.
He was, I think, also a wonderful villain in License to Kill.
Yeah, he's great in License to Kill.
And Agent Johnson in Die Hard. He's a complete arse in that.
Like Vietnam. I was in junior high, asshole. Everything's making them jump.
Well, when did she pass away? Was it the late 80s, early 90s?
Early 90s, I think.
I think she's a bit of a scary woman, wasn't she?
Well, like looks at it, but by all accounts, she was lovely. This is where the carrying the body in the background. Dead things, Mikey. Dead things.
I think most kids, if families knew that their house was going to be torn down soon, you think most of them would be packing already.
Well, I think they are. I mean, that's why
Rosalie,
Rosalie is there.
There's to help pack.
To help
you think
pack,
they'd be a little bit more like, I don't know, maybe they're all kind of thinking it may not go through.
Yeah,
and that's why they're sort of reluctant to do it.
Well, because he hasn't signed it yet, is it? The dad hasn't. They haven't signed over the house yet. And here we go. Whether you know the Goonies or not, everyone knows Sloth.
Everyone knows Sloth, yeah. You're ruining it.
You're ruining it. You're ruining it. I love it. He just feels so put upon. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
But when you look at the box office for this, I mean, it cost about 20 million to make, so it's not a huge budget movie.
Yeah,
and most of the big, especially certainly bigger names, were just with the adults who had smaller roles, and everything else was kids. But it made I think it was 61 million worldwide. It wasn't a huge movie. It wasn't a huge box office success. I mean, it made profit for Warner Brothers, but it wasn't the level of say Indiana Jones or Spielberg's other work, even Donner's work.
I think it was in the top 10 of the year, I believe.
Yeah, I think it had Rambo 2 came out at the same time as this.
Right. Yes.
But they're completely different films. This is for kids. That's for adults.
Yeah, but to me, like Rambo, First Blood Part 2 is a way more dated film than this.
I think I've expressed my thoughts on Rambo 2 before. I think it's probably the weakest one out of sequels. A lot of people love it. It made so much money. Everyone loved the character. And
it's kind of the icon. It's kind of when Rambo became what we know as Rambo. Because in First Blood he's not. First Blood is such a different movie.
It's a serious movie.
Yeah, First Blood is amazing. I love First Blood.
Number 2 is like a superhero kind of Stallone saving the day. But I mean, Stallone, thinks it's the weakest out of the bunch, despite it being the most successful out of all of them.
Yeah.
But with Goonies, I mean, I presume, as we've become experienced it over the years, and I think most people, is that it did find its audience on tape and TV. And I think the TV cut had an extended scene, which is like the octopus, which they kind of mentioned in the film. We never see it.
No, that was never put back in.
The TV cut, it was.
Really?
Yeah.
No, come on. That could look rubbish.
Well, yeah.
I can't believe that they would have put that in.
Back in the 80s. Apparently it was put into a TV cut, but it's a deleted scene, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the disc.
Yeah. Which they then reference in the film.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is really confusing, and they didn't cut that out.
Josh Brolin's character would do the same, wouldn't he?
Yep. She elbowed his lip.
He's got new photos of his mum.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
What? Thanks, Junk.
I love this bit. It's just constant little traps surrounding them. Or everyone's just scared of everything, aren't they?
It jumped out of the bushes.
But it's these little things like the light bulbs breaking and stuff. It's all so small scale, but it's in that sort of scenario, everyone would be jumping up.
No, exactly.
Everyone would be jumping, and being scared of what's going on around them.
Yeah, it creates tension. It creates the drama of the moment. It makes it all. She knows what she's talking about.
I love this bit because you hear that groan and she's like, like it sounds like Kong.
Yeah. Chunk, I hope that was your stomach.
I'm surprised they didn't do any sort of. I know we'll get to it when we get to the ship. We'll talk about the ship and obviously how it was built and it was actually a real thing. But there was never any sort of Goonies ride thing. I mean, it would seem perfect. Prime opportunity to do that.
Yeah,
the Goonies kind of theme thing at Disney or Universal.
I guess because it just wasn't that big. It was big, but not that big.
Was Corey Feldman friends with Michael Jackson at this point? Or was it a bit later on? I think it was maybe around this time.
I think it might have been this. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
I think Michael Jackson did visit the set, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did.
I think because at the same time he's doing that Captain EO thing, wasn't it?
Captain EO.
Yeah, I never saw that.
We had that. Yeah, I did. I saw that Epcot Centre in 3D. Francis Ford Coppola directed. George Lucas produced the most expensive minute by minute film ever made at the time. Captain EO.
Oh, this water! He goes right in his eye.
It just goes. It's like why is that funny?
It's such a tit, isn't he? I think it must be a real challenge to get to direct all these kids, get them to stick to their lines, get them to stick to the points, on the floor where you got to be for the camera and stuff, and meet your marker. Because as we saw with the Harry Potter films, because there's loads of kids in those films, and a lot of the acting in some scenes is quite stilted and wooden. Maybe as a result of the kids not actually being brilliant actors, but good directors can get good performance out of kids who haven't. Acted before, like Ed Furlong in Terminator 2. Brilliant. You wouldn't think he had no acting experience.
No acting experience.
Fucking incredible. So, in the case of this, Donna's managed to sort of get the best out of them. I think it may just be down to, because of the clever castings, that they all kind of play off each other really well. The chemistry's there.
Yeah,
I think later on, I don't think Sean and Corey got on later on. I don't think she on the left didn't like Corey Feldman.
Right.
Apparently.
Martha Plimpton.
Yeah. But that's what we know. That's what the internet says. It may not be true. So. The printing money, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he's so gullible. You're just like, it's just like, it looks like A4 paper. It's not going to fool anyone.
Yeah, we have the money to save the Goondogs.
It's like the bottom where Eddie's made all that fake money.
I love the Data's theme. $50 bill. $50 bill.
Yeah.
So coming up now is a kid's movie, right? And it goes in the fridge, and there's a dead body, and the dead body comes out and falls on him. It's really, really disturbing.
It's so stiff. Yeah, I suppose so. It's
got a bullet hole in his head.
Yeah, okay.
It's really
that's fair enough. Yeah. Some things you can get away with, though. It's.
But yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying this is what we used to have these movies.
It
yeah,
was PG.
Yeah. I love it. That's great. I love it when you just see, and then look, Okay, come on. How disturbing is that?
And the music's very like
using
horror
psycho music. They drop it. It's like it's horrendous, but brilliant. You know, you would never ever be able to do that in a kids' movie now.
Oh God, no! It'd instantly be slapped with a 12.
Yeah,
or PG-13. It wouldn't be a PG. I mean, I was surprised when I saw Bumblebee recently. That was a PG movie. I've not seen a PG film in ages. Then it has to be a 12.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's got to, have the odd swear word in it or something. Oh, I love pizza right now. Doesn't she? She does actually slap him, doesn't she?
Yeah.
I think he had
That's
told
right.
her to hit him. Well, the other brother, was in The Matrix and Bound.
Course, yep.
Loads of stuff. Can't remember his bloody name now.
Yeah, I was just sitting here going,
What's his
I know,
bloody name?
of course I know his name, but it's on the tip of my tongue.
Is it Joe something?
Yeah, it's
Joe
damn it,
Pantiano or something like that. I can never pronounce his surname. It's quite a difficult one. If I saw it written down, I could do it.
Yeah.
Not by memory.
Yeah, he was in The Fugitive as well, right?
Oh.
Yeah, one of.
He's in Bad Boys as well.
Yeah,
As the short-tempered boss.
Yeah. Okay, now we're playing it for laughs. A comedy with a dead guy falling on a kid.
Kind of just like a live-action version of Seymour Skinner or something.
And this is a great advert for Nike coming up. I always remember as they're climbing down, you just got loads of shots of Nike trainers. I mean, it's so disturbing.
I think Data has Converse. No, he doesn't have Converse. They're all wearing Nike, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe Josh Brolin has the Converse on.
Well, he had the Nikes on, didn't he?
Did he? Oh,
Yeah.
fucking hell. They're all Nikes then.
Yeah, Nike.
Yeah.
It's just constant shots of Nikes.
In the UK, people will probably wear like high-tech.
High
Dunlop.
Dunlop. Oh my God, yes.
That's when you watch, they have these highlights of the tennis from the 80s. They've got Dunlop rackets and things like that, No one would have a Dunlop racket anymore, would they? I'll show you a tremor. Obviously, coming up in a moment where he phones the. Well, it's a bit later on, isn't it? When the Fratellis kind of leave and he gets a chance with Sloth to eat some ice cream.
Ruth,
baby, and he calls the
Ruth.
police, and then they
they reference Gremlins.
Gremlins, yeah.
Which was only a year before.
Yeah. There is a continuity gaffe coming up, though, isn't there? Do you remember? When he calls down the car, and it's Robert Darby, but he's talking, and you see in the side mirror, he's not saying anything. It's like a different...
Oh, right.
It's just obviously the voiceover.
Mm-hmm.
And,
What seems to be the problem?
yeah, that's right. I always wait. He's got the flashlight, isn't it?
Yeah, bully blinders.
Bully blinders.
And they're all like falling over. I can't see anything. But he always refers to himself in the third person. Oh, Data.
Third person.
Oh, Data.
I love how he's like Chunk wears a Hawaiian shirt.
He's just gross.
Checkered trousers.
Yeah. I'm just a kid.
See, look now, he turns the light on in the car. Actually, no, because he sings at him, and you don't see him singing in the mirror. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind it. The cuts work well. The timing of it. You see Chunk in the background, like
He's uncontrollable, isn't he?
Yeah.
Trying to restrain him.
Oh no. This is so much comedy to be had with a dead body. Yeah, I remember this in the cinema, everyone cracking up.
It was like the composer gets to deploy the main theme again.
Yeah.
When it all kicks off and all the carnage. And like, there's Troy's just reading his magazine about guns, isn't he?
He's sitting on the loo.
They calls out for his dad, doesn't he?
Daddy, let's get out of here. Data look, the whole thing goes up and down. Data looks at it. Bloke just stands there.
Stabs him, like, not doing anything. There's a guy with an eye patch in a minute, and I always thought it might be director called Newt Arnold, who did a lot of second unit work, and he directed like Bloodsport, and he saved a lot of Cannon movies for sort of jumping in to sort of shoot action.
All right.
But he looks very familiar.
Right.
It's quite obviously having an eye patch is quite a unique sort of accessory, I suppose. Guns and ammo. I love that. I always loved the magazine Lisa Simpson I always used to read. Non-Threatening Boys magazine.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. That's what I love. I love those. I love these. The cut in between the kids when they do things. There's another one coming up where they go, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, and it's just whip pans between them all. So do it. I love stuff like that.
It's interesting that if they hadn't done all that damage to the piping and the system underground, they wouldn't have found this entrance.
Yep.
So.
Yep, it was an important thing to do.
Apparently, you can hear Richard Donner laugh when he when they grab the spoon out of his mouth and it cuts his face like smoke. But I can never, hear it.
We'll see if we can listen out for it.
But isn't this story about him puking? Is it something that Spielberg?
It's something that Spielberg actually did.
Yeah,
when he was a kid. Tell us everything.
I pushed my sister down the stairs. I blamed it on the dog. So good. I mean, I think Chunk became the most popular sort of character, didn't he?
Yeah, everyone loved him, it's you couldn't do that anymore because it's literally make someone funny because they're
it's kind of like a less offensive and version of like Cartman or something from South Park.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their little mate who's kind of a bit overweight and a bit mouthy and gobby.
Yeah, but that's just it. But he's got a personality. He's got a great personality.
Yeah, he's lovable, isn't he? It's got hysterical.
You've got a great body.
don't think they had like fat camp over here, did they? Never.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. It must just shows you that.
I don't think that was the thing here. Yeah.
Like a outburst of fat kids in America at the time. Too much sugary good food.
And burgers.
But that's weird that, when I went to Utah, it's like everywhere you go, it was just fast food chains. You're just surrounded by them. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it is everywhere, but it's everywhere here now as well. But you just got. But there's good food. There is some great food in America. I love. You just got to know the people that know the good food.
When I was there, I just wanted the American-sized portion of things. But I think that some places they do that. Some places they just you just get regular portion of things. I was like, I want the biggest fucking plate of chips and burgers and beans, whatever. I'm not going to eat it all. That's the point. The point is, I want
so much wastage.
a massive plate of food that's impossible to eat. Like I was sold by movies and stories of other people.
Well,
before.
I've had plenty of those portions. Trust me. I'm very much at home in the American culture, eating and drinking till I collapse.
Oh,
cool, the dynamite.
Read the text, mate. It says dynamite.
Booty traps. Wait, watch out, Josh Brolin. He touches the skull and then he wipes his hands on Corey Feldman.
I love how Sean Astin's wearing double denim. Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't pull it. Don't pull it.
Bloody kids.
This is great. I love it. It's like booby traps begun. I think this was a clip I saw on TV before I saw it.
I always I'm trying to think actually what sort of the hell I was far too young. I mean when it came out to even be aware of it. This is 85, so I would have been like 3 years old. It must have been like 89, 1990 till I saw it, which is actually a perfect age.
Yeah,
to see Goonies, being 8 years old, or whatever.
Yeah,
it's perfect. But even it's it would have taken ages to come out as a to be on normal TV. Because my friend still had a videotape of Return of the Jedi, an ITV network premiere. It was 1988 or something. It's like, it's like 5 years after it came out.
Yep, they took a while to come out.
They did.
In those days. Because they were special.
Batman didn't. That came out 2 years after it came out. BBC One.
This is it. I love that.
It's just loads of bats. She's got like a tomboy sort of character, isn't she? How she's with her, how she acts and her hair. How she has her hair. I love it. She just like screaming. It's like basically toy bats in front of her. It's brilliant acting.
He's to sit.
telling
it to sit.
Sit.
But when the Fratellis go through there, and they're like, "Watch your veins, Ma, watch your veins." And then Francis takes his wig off, goes, "Watch your hair." So I
don't wear a hairpiece. I love that bit later on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I understand how nostalgic goggles and when you grow up with something it is more endearing to you. But I think this is a great film. I do think that it's got a lot of timelessness to it, and
Its strengths are the comedy, and that's what it really excels for me. And the score as well. The adventure side of things is fine. I mean, we've seen far more movies now over the years that have very elaborate kind of adventure kind of things, trying to find treasure and solving a mystery and puzzle, whatever. And this is all done on a slightly smaller scale because it's for kids, right? It wouldn't be that over the top, I suppose. I don't know. Maybe at the time it was perfectly acceptable, and people thought that's great. But so I think the comedy and the score and direction is still stellar.
Yeah, I think it's brilliantly directed. Yeah, I think Donna was I think firing on all cylinders at this time.
And he's one of those directors, I suppose, like George Miller, where they direct something and you don't look at it and go, that's a Richard Donner film. That's just a well-made film. It's not a director where his style stamped all over it.
Yeah,
like say a Tim Burton movie. That's a Tim Burton film. You watch a Tim Burton film.
Yeah,
probably something like David Lynch. You can probably say that's a David Lynch kind of type movie, or Cronenberg. I mean, if there's enough quarters down there, you'd be all right. But obviously, you're not going to be able to save your house. But
yeah, take a few.
What's he say? An actor's name?
Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen. I love that. He doesn't say anything.
This is my dream, my wish.
It seems like that water there is really hot.
Yeah.
With steam, it must be kind of warm for the kids and stuff because it'd just be like, don't want them to be shaking. But I don't think washing well would have all that steam. It wouldn't be hot.
It's like a Turkish bath.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so this is the bit coming out. We've got to listen.
Look at him. He's staring at it like a chunk.
Yeah.
He's watching him.
Just watching.
He wants that ice cream. She's like, yeah, and she holds it up. You never believe me. You're supposed to hear Donna laugh there, but I never.
I didn't hear anything, but we haven't got it up very loud.
No. I love that. It goes back again.
Yeah. Wishes do come true.
There's interesting little things with Troy. He's a dick, right? And he's like, he's a spoiled rich brat.
Yeah.
But he's willing to help them out. He's going to get them out of there. Obviously, probably because he thinks he's going to get a date with them.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's being. I don't think he's doing it. I don't think he's doing it selflessly.
He gives an opportunity for them to get out.
There's a good chance that he probably wouldn't have let. He probably would have got Andy out and not brought the others.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Maybe I'm overthinking it again. I love watching Errol Flynn, isn't he? Sloth is.
Garrett.
Now, this was the movie everyone, I think most people wanted to, outside of the USA, wanted to know what a Baby Ruth was like to eat.
Yeah.
What was the taste of it? What was it?
Yeah.
It's basically a Snickers.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And I was just so disappointed. You know what I mean? It's nice. It's a nice chocolate bar. But, it wasn't this, even in Caddyshack they have a Baby Ruth. And they obviously get confused thinking it looks like a shit. And Bill Murray has to clean the pool out, then he eats it. And just faints. And,
well, yeah, for us in the UK, these movies were we were being introduced to all these American culture, all these American things.
Yeah.
And we were fascinated by it and we loved it. And we wanted to know what they were.
I wonder what Americans think of, like, if they see English chocolate bars and go, what do that taste like?
They love Alcabra's chocolate.
Most people do.
Yeah. Well, all the Americans that I've met, it's a very sweeping statement, but I've met quite a few, and they do like our chocolate.
German chocolate, like Kinder, I like that.
Well, yeah, Belgium chocolate really is where it's at. But welcome to the Chocolate Hour with Brad and Oliver. This is our time down here. It's their time up there. Down here.
I mean, how big's this golf course going to be? It's like they can't, because Andy doesn't live that close to them. She lives a bit further away.
Yeah, but she just said she's not a Goonie, so it doesn't
affect her, I
no.
suppose. There has been talk of them doing a sequel for fucking years, and it's never got off the ground.
Kept going on about that.
And Donna's been interviewed, like 2014, I think it was. He said, it's definitely going to happen. Not the cast are like, I'm umming and ahhing about it. And they want to bring them all back. And I think in that case, it would end up being them and their kids doing the adventure. Because you couldn't have them all doing the adventure. Because they're all adults, It's it just wouldn't have the same magic. And I think it's...
whatever they do, it won't have the same magic, Ollie. You know this. They're gonna every time they every time they do these things, it never works. I if Donna's directing it, then I'll be interested.
Well, he's doing. I think he's planning Lethal Weapon 5, but. Goonies 2. The weird thing is, as a kid, there was a Goonies video game on something called the MSX or something. I think there's one on the NES. But then there was a Goonies 2 video game, and that's what confused me because I thought, where's the film? There's a game, but there's no film. So yeah, that was all a bit strange. Well, the gentleman who played Sloth, he died of a heart attack, didn't he?
He was a football player, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's right. It was 89, was it? Or something like that.
I don't know when, but I know he passed away.
I think he did a lot of coke and stuff, I think.
He was supposed to be a lovely guy.
Yeah. I love when he throws at his head. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
It's actually really good makeup, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you see the actor when he's without the makeup, it's something like that.
Yeah.
It's like.
He's like, want to get it?
I love how strong he is, and he's
yeah.
Like, That was always a bit of a weird pickup shot. Chunk's reaction to him pulling the chains off. I also like a little bit like they didn't get it right. I think. He's like, you're hungrier than I am.
Just a copper pot. It's a bit where he kisses him.
Oh yeah, what does he say? He tastes like or smells like something, a Percocet or something like that. Maybe I got the word wrong.
Yeah, it's something, and it's never. I always thought you smell like pissant, but it's
Yes, right.
But I think he's saying something else.
Maybe I put the subtitles on.
Oh, phys ed.
Phys ed.
Smell like phys ed. Yeah.
What is phys ed?
Physical education.
Oh,
yeah. Basically, yeah.
BO.
What do we call it? What do we call it in our schools?
PE.
PE. Yeah. Which is phys ed, physical education.
You smell like PE. What? I used to smell like gym shoes. What they used to say.
I love that where Brand is snuggling up to the wrong girl. He goes, oh, sorry.
Well, then Andy makes out with.
Yeah. Makes out with Mikey.
Yeah, that's right.
Thinking it's Brand. So, this is where pinches of peril come in and his entire body weight is saved by a little spring. You never see how Mikey gets his hand out of that.
No, you don't. Imagine it's unreleased when it finishes its cycle of the booby trap. I don't know. That sound. That's what Jerry Goldsmith often did. That sort of sound effect. That's a good shot. What? Like that. When she kind of racks into the camera.
Oh yeah, right into
the eyes.
Big close up with the eyes light on her eyes. Yeah, I love that. I think that one of Donna's biggest directions to them all was big eyes. just do big eyes. He got saved by a stupid spring with his little fake teeth on the end.
Is it the pinch of peril?
Pinches of peril.
Pinches of peril. It also says it says pinches of power.
There we go. This is the Gremlins reference.
Was he also a cop in Gremlins as well at the station?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. I thought it was like when he left Gizmo with the cops. They're just sort of watching him play.
No, it's what's his name? Who was in a lot of movies around those times.
That sounds like dong.
I like it because it said the policeman was actually concerned.
Yes,
he's actually when he gets cut off.
Yeah, he's used to Chunk being a sort of a compulsive liar.
Yeah. So he doesn't. He's not an idiot. He's not like a moron cop.
Which is often a common trait in Hollywood films, isn't it? Was to play in like small towns, the cops would be slightly a bit bumpkiny or just like a bit crap at their job.
This is the men's room. Again, I quote that quite a lot. This is the men's room. In the ambulance turning up.
Turned up pretty quickly, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good service.
That's good service. She's ragging them out.
You'd be a bit stuffed though if you need to go number 2 down there. It's like, I should have eaten that pizza before we went out.
I'd find somewhere. Be fine. You just want to make sure you do it away from the girls as well.
Yeah. Stick your ass under that water.
There you go. And this was every kid's fantasy. A girl like that.
Well, then she kind of like
take you for a boyfriend.
Her and Mouth like have a little bit of a thing as well.
Yeah,
it's she's older.
Yeah,
you know,
it is implied that there's an attraction there.
That was it, wasn't it? At school, we always like the girls who were like two years above you. Think, she's fit. You know,
they were. Yeah, they were like
they're completely out of your league.
Yeah, they were the untouchable.
Yeah. But then those girls fancied guys who are now out of school. They're into sixth form, you know.
Yeah. And you're always like, when you look down here.
She's like, she got braces.
Two with your eyes open, it's a whole different experience.
I love the sort of the musical cue for the bag goes. It's a slight sort of like lumbering. Kind of
it's
like,
almost
like comedic.
Lex Luthor. It's almost Superman.
Yeah. The Otis kind of music theme, isn't it?
Yeah. The March of the Villains, I believe it's called.
Yeah. One of my friends did a remix of that. It was pretty good. She's like, fancy another snog?
Yeah.
Well, we think the Stranger Things season 3, as we were kind of discussing the show a bit earlier on, that the year they film set is 85, where this film would have come out. I suppose they didn't actually play on this a little bit.
Yeah,
you know,
that's right. It's interesting they didn't.
They could have had a bit of the musical cue or something as they're doing something, you know, like that, like running away from the monster or whatever.
Well, they did Back to the Future, didn't they?
Yeah,
I guess Back to the Future was a bigger film for sure.
Sure, yeah. But this is far more in what.
Yeah, but this is what Stranger Things is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's a cut out scene here, where the water, the torrent of water comes down on the kids.
That's it.
Yeah, I remember having you used to have those books that had stills from the movies.
Oh yeah.
And one of them had a image of them all holding on to this log with the torrent of water coming down.
Oh right. I had a few of those kind of movie books as a kid. I thought those passed on.
Oh yeah, I always had them. Yeah,
we had like 2 of them. We had the 3 of them. We had Return to Jedi, Return to Oz, and The Black Cauldron.
Right.
That was actually kind of all around 83, 85. So.
Yeah, no, I had loads. E.T., Back to the Future, this. He turns around and just gives him the up yours. Yeah. Okay.
I think that's probably the best prop is the piano.
Yeah.
Made out of skull and bones.
Yeah,
isn't it?
the organ.
Really
I just love the way it tracks in on that organ and with the music cue, and then you just hear Steph go, "It's disgusting."
But it's like it's like a prop that you'd see in like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
you know. It goes dun dun.
Yeah. Disgusting.
Yeah. That's really cool. That's the one prop you should have somewhere.
Yeah,
like a museum.
Yeah, you got to have that
in whatever it is.
You have it in your production office for crying out loud.
Oh man,
yeah. That hurts.
if we were put in this scenario, we'd be all right. You can play the piano.
I can, yes.
Yeah, well,
yes.
I can. So, you're like, right,
So this would be my...
this would be your...
Yeah.
I don't know what my required skill set would be, to be honest. in Goonies.
Gonna play the bones. So yes, in this scenario, I would be the Andy of the group. Yeah.
Because it's quite a small kind of set. They've hit a lot of it, haven't they?
Yeah.
With the smoke.
Yeah, it's lit very well. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I remember watching that cinema going, yeah, this is Indiana Jones stuff. There's a great shot of the set from underneath and the floor collapsing away from it.
Come on, keep playing, woman.
Yep.
What are you doing? Really pissed off.
Oh dear.
I think it's the next time it breaks, you see it's looking up.
Yeah, when Data runs in and makes it hit the wrong note. See, I'm looking at that. I'm like, I don't even know where to begin on that keyboard. It's like it doesn't make any sense.
It does not make sense. They're gone. So where would they go? Where would he store that boxing glove and his jacket? That's a
great shot. I love that.
It's not funny, mate.
No time for jokes.
Yeah.
He chucks the gun and lands in his balls. And then, of course, for kids, you've got to have all the slide sequence.
Oh, of course. So
this is built. They built this.
It's bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, because coming up, isn't it? As I mentioned very early on about the ship itself. I mean, I think it's common knowledge to most kind of film fans or fans of Goonies. Was that they actually built the whole ship, and the kids' reactions to it was their first time seeing it. And that's a brilliant
apparently
directorial choice.
But I believe they couldn't use that take entirely because they freaked out too much. So I think a lot of it is actually the second take. But it just gave them that moment of.
It's my favourite musical cues. Just when they go down the slide.
I was like, because I loved water slides. I was a water slide park nut, theme park nut, movie nut. I was in heaven watching this movie.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, look at that.
I think the water's animated on the right there.
Yeah, I think there's some map work going on.
That's crazy.
But it looks wonderful.
But as no one wanted it. But after they finished filming, none of the theme parks wanted it. Disney didn't want it. It's a shame. They built this massive pirate ship, and they could have kept it. You know,
it's crazy, isn't it?
All just destroyed, and it's. Maybe it's one of those things at the time. No one really cared about pirate movies anymore. No one cared about pirate ships. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
it boggles the mind, doesn't it? Really,
you would have thought that someone would have thought this movie is bound to be a classic. Yeah, because it had all the elements for it to be.
Mm.
But just look at the size of that set.
It's Warner Brothers, isn't it? They shot the set.
Yeah.
It's like something at the. Have you seen The Phantom?
The Phantom?
Billy Zane.
Yeah.
The end
right
takes place on a pirate ship.
That's right, yeah.
In this big, very similar kind of set.
You know who was originally going to direct that?
Joe Dante.
Yep.
See? Was it maybe Bruce Campbell as The Phantom?
I think, I think there was talk of that.
That would have been great. But Billy Zane's great as The Phantom. Even though it's the idea of a guy in a purple suit running around the forest isn't the best disguise. Seeing coming a mile off.
Again, it's pretty gruesome. Looking skeleton with 2 daggers in his eyes. And again, and you have this character, One-Eyed Willie, who Mikey has a reverence for, and you as the audience are supposed to have a reverence for. But he killed his entire crew.
Yeah, because of his paranoia.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he was a total shit.
Yeah. And he was obsessed with, his gold and jewelry.
just wittering on.
I think there's a little bit too much ad lib in there for him. It's gibberish.
I liked it.
Be quiet, mate. Cut.
Mumps and studying them and fenning them.
Because I love how he says, he goes, watch out, and he just, watch out for your feet, and he slips over.
Yeah, it's slippery. I just love those little touches, those little comedic moments. But it's kind of Temple of Doom-ish, where Spielberg was just throwing in all these gags to make it funny.
I mean, it's interesting that they've all it's like trying to get into each other now because they're like, where's the gold? It's like, come on! It's like we've just discovered this pirate ship.
We just discovered this pirate ship.
Yeah, not I think what would really happen, I mean, in regards to a Goonies sequel, I think what would happen is that they would actually remake it. I think just for a modern audience, even though it doesn't need to be remade.
Yeah,
but that's probably what would happen, Because a sequel, for a film that's now 30 years old.
Well, I'm guessing that's what there's got to be some people there at Warner Brothers that are like, "Come on, let's just remake Goonies." But it's I just can't subscribe to the I'm just done with remakes. I'm done with them. I'm done with this whole thing. And even if you could make a good version of this, I'm just the principle is just I mean, I'm sure if I get offered a remake to make and I make it, someone will pull this out and call me a hypocrite. But but hey, I've got to work. But just in principle, just like being if you're on the decision making, end of things, it's just so because you are just trading off a brand name that people have heard of. But, if you so if Warner Brothers came to me and backed up a truckload of money and said remake the Goonies, obviously I'd do it. Because I think that hopefully if they let me do it with my sensibilities, I'd do it justice. And I'm sure there's other filmmakers out there that feel the same, who would really want to give it a go. But I think you could do it as a sequel, but have it based around the kids of the Goonies. But make it about them. It's not, it is. So it's almost like a remake, but a remake that's taking place in the same universe. It's a retread of an adventure.
Sure.
And do it that way, and that way you can reference the original. You can homage it and use the world it's in as as references for people, but also just redo a kid's adventure with a bunch of kids in the spirit of the Goonies.
It's a shame actually that obviously this was never intended to have a sequel, but they could have had like another story that his dad told him, but they only give you a brief little nugget of it, so you could say. Because it wouldn't be another pirate ship for a sequel, because it would just be the same thing. So it'd have to be something completely different. But they all band together and go on this adventure. But no sods have been sown to sort of have been set up to hint at those other things that Mikey was interested in, or stories he'd been told by his father. Basically, it's like those chocolate coins, get at Christmas. Don't it? Oh, marbles, man! I was obsessed with marbles like a year in like 1990 or whatever.
Marbles.
Mum, when I moved out recently, Mum found tons of these marbles of mine. I was like, I don't want them. The Hardy Boys.
Showed us on the Hardy Boys one time.
I love that bit there where he just goes, yo, like that.
There's a bit coming out where
it becomes a sort of a swashbuckling kind of music kicks in.
Yeah. The bit coming up where Mouth has it all in his mouth and she's pulling it out.
Oh my god!
She
whacks his head and he just like fires them out. And he's like one more.
Yeah. They start sword fighting. She's like, oh. It's like this look of horror on her face. She's just like gliding towards her.
I think one sort of criticism here is it's a little bit pedestrian with its little pace at the moment.
Yeah.
There's no energy much here. It's just like he's trying out his gadgets. It's all happening but quite slowly.
Well, then you have this moment.
Yeah, which is brilliant. Yeah. Last one he fires out.
Yeah,
Great.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I would have
Should have just pushed her off.
I would have shoulder barged that old biddy and she would have come flying in. Was it a great moment coming up? The Superman theme.
Well, yeah. Which of course people just thought was a joke, but people who knew that it's the same director as Superman find it even more funny. So it's an in joke that other people get as well, which is kind of cool, I suppose. They obviously look like dummies. Those.
Jack tries to like a sort of like a great escape. He just like falls on his ass. Here we go.
Yeah.
Plop.
just so ungracious.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
I mean,
cool.
look at that set. You just want to. It's amazing. So obviously, coming up was the deleted scene of the octopus.
That's right. They put like something in its mouth, don't they?
Yeah. So here we go. I just love the way they know that means they're in deep shit. It's like this has happened before. Like,
he's pulled the Superman top out.
Yeah, and they're like, oh no.
I don't wear a hairpiece. It's like...
The money on Francis's toupee.
when he heads, like the head butts him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He sees his hairpiece just like flip around.
Okay. Now this is really disturbing, right?
Oh yeah, she basically said that she basically.
I only dropped you once, well maybe twice.
Dropped him.
It's horrendous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'd do. Don't untie her yet, mate.
You ain't going nowhere.
I like when she cuts them down and they land and they crash. Boom. And they're like, are you okay? Okay, yeah. And then they start fighting again. Okay, this is really disturbing.
Yeah.
You've been bad.
It's like the music cues.
Yeah.
Like they've got a melody, like a lullaby, and then it goes to sort of twisted version.
Yep. It's horrible. Oh my god. I only dropped you once, or maybe twice. Could have cracked right on the rocks. So yeah, and then of course you got coming up the end where he goes, "I love you, Jug."
Yeah.
And it makes me cry. It gets to me. It does.
It's like the kids aren't afraid of him.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like he's just a big friendly monster.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
It's a big, yeah.
Well, that's quite a derogative term. It's calling someone a monster, but it's. Yeah, he's just like, you okay? Yeah. Mr. Winky. I see,
Yep.
Mikey knew.
But all it does is raise the anchor and release the ship
to bugger off, basically. Yeah. Because the score to this movie, it didn't come out for like 25 years. Never got released. There was like one track maybe put out at one point, which was the main theme. Well, as soon as it came out, I had to get it. They did like a limited run of 5,000 copies, and then I think this year, because it's the anniversary, I believe, or like whatever it is, 35th. I think it's 35th. No, well, it's not even. It must be the 34th because it came out in '85, didn't it?
Yeah.
So. Because obviously the 4K re-release, but they've put out an LP of this now. I think re-released a CD as well. But.
So I think those opticals of the falling rocks,
they're pretty good.
Are pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. Was this ILM as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael McAllister. Same as Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom, Last Crusade.
God, shocking, there,
No,
bro.
sorry.
Be careful not to headbutt his groin.
I don't know why blatantly there's like literally for the last 15 minutes of this film, Richard Donner's advertising his other film.
Yeah, it's great.
It's like every the Superman logo's in.
With it being a Warner Brothers movie, they can use the theme and use
exactly. They can do what they like.
The logo without any permission.
Yep.
See, that optical's pretty good because I actually got the lighting on them.
Yeah.
There.
There's a nice sort of fantasy element to that one.
What was that? Yeah, I think when the rocks begin to crumble and the light cuts through.
Yeah, this is great.
That's really good.
This is wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a wonderful effect. And here he comes.
There comes Richard Donner.
Hair director.
Yeah, director.
He says, "Cool, Harvey."
Donner does cameos in Superman, doesn't he?
In a deleted scene, yeah.
I don't think other ones he cameoed in, other of his own movies. We actually cameos in Superman 2, actually, because it's called Don's Diner, isn't it?
Yeah,
He walks
and he's
past
walking across
with a
it.
pipe.
Yeah.
I don't think he cameos in Lethal Weapon. Must be one of the sequels he cameos.
Probably, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
One Donner film I've not seen is Maverick. Not seen Maverick.
Oh, Maverick, yeah. Of course, Maverick. I love Maverick. I really enjoyed that film. And I really like Conspiracy Theory.
I've not seen that either.
I think it's
it's
bizarrely fun.
I got Assassins. That was written by the Wachowskis.
Right, yeah.
It's they didn't like how the script was rewritten, but that film was okay. I think it was it's interesting stuff in it.
Yeah.
I love this moment here.
Yeah.
This is one of the most heartwarming moments.
Yeah, this is very heartwarming.
He says his son is his greatest invention.
Yeah.
I thought that is just
Yeah.
beautiful.
It's really touching.
Yeah. And the musical cue comes in.
When
She's playing both of them, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's in trouble.
when she snogs Bran and it cuts to Mikey and Bran's parents, and she goes, oh, let her mother worry.
Yeah, I love that bit, yeah. That's great. I love that. He's just like, no, I don't have asthma anymore.
Yeah. Suddenly, the cure from asthma.
Yeah. Actually, that cop was a bit like Jerry Seinfeld.
The Fratellis.
There was another little funny bit in the moment where he rips up the paper, the contract, and throws it.
Yeah, and
then
you see another
paper comes
another
up.
whole load of paper get thrown up in the air. Yeah.
I wonder what he says then. Whoa, fuck me sideways.
Oh, no.
Did he ask his parents about this?
I was going to say, does his parents know?
Like a middle-aged man come live with them?
Oh, no. It's like suddenly they turn up.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way.
Oh, shit, yeah. Well, there you go. They're destroying a whole town.
Yeah. Such
For a country club. It's like... But he's still got the jewels, hasn't he? In his marble bag. Now silent.
He's such an ass.
Yeah, he's a complete arse, isn't he? I would have stabbed the pen in his back.
Yeah.
Like Arnie does in Running Man.
Yes.
No sign, no pen.
I just love this shot with all their faces coming into the camera.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, would that cover it?
I don't know. What are they worth?
I don't know. Where would you go?
Someone would say, "Well, we need to evaluate these diamonds first."
Yeah, take the cash converters or something.
Yeah, they might not be real, you know.
Not offer you much at all. Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah. Boom. Hey, somebody off camera chucking some more up.
A parrot chip. He's like,
what octopus?
oh, octopus, you lie.
The octopus from the deleted scene. This is a good moment.
Jesus Christ, monkey bars. Look at that. That's a good effect.
That's a great optical.
I like that. That's good.
That's a great optical. It looks really, really good.
It was always on Channel 4. In the last decade, I think it's always on. You know. They speed through those credits. Like,
yeah,
speed
something
it up.
going. Yeah.
But it does end on a bit of a wobbly optical as well.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a bit dodgy.
It's like Captain Pugwash or something. Dun, 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 dun. Well, yeah, that was really good. Watching that, 'cause I saw it recently, so it's kind of when it's always these kind of movies. I like to have a bit of gap between them, but it was
yeah.
It's always Goonies is extremely rewatchable. There are always little bits you kind of miss first time with some of the even a third or fourth time is the little nuances they have and something in the background you miss.
But but the thing is, this is a period where the movies weren't. It was an Amblin movie. It was a Spielberg movie. Got Richard Donner directing it. It was a summer movie, I guess. But these movies they want that huge in terms of they need to live or die by getting the biggest opening ever. These movies they were made. They did well. They did well enough to bring in a nice profit, but they were allowed. But they could they could take risks with them. They could have fun with them. They could make them a little bit bizarre. They could. Do things like that,
They weren't just saying, "Hey, we're going to copy something else. We got to stick to what is hip and popular."
It's like, look, it's like on paper, it's a very you could break it down as a cynical ploy of kids love Indiana Jones. Let's do Indiana Jones for kids. Yeah, of course, but then Chris Columbus and Richard Donner and Spielberg put together a movie that is that, but it's got dead bodies falling on kids. It's got
a lot of swearing.
Yeah, a lot of swearing.
Yeah.
Penis jokes.
It captures what kids, what kind of their perception of kids at the time.
Yes,
and it seemed to work.
Yes.
And it captured the imagination of all the kids at the time, and we all went off. As I say, we went off on our bikes and did these little crazy adventures. Not too extreme with this because that was obviously impossible. But
well, I don't know. I haven't told you about the time.
I just got on an ancient mummy in Essex. Oh dear.
Oh no, for it. But yeah, but I certainly recognise myself in this. Like as a kid, I related to the kids totally.
There we go. Look, Richard Donner's assistant Michael Thor. He was he remastered. He involved restoration of Superman 1 and 2.
Oh right.
Yeah, you think he edited the Donner cut?
Right.
Yeah, he disappeared off the face of it. Oh, there you go, Newt Arnold, second director.
There you go.
Fucking was him.
There you go.
Yes.
Well spotted.
Well done, mate.
Industrial Light and Magic. So, yeah. So, 85.
Right. It says California. Yeah, you were right. Because I was, we said Last Crusade. I said, it's in San Francisco, isn't it?
Yeah.
No.
85. Yeah. So they would have done this, and
Cocoon.
Yeah, Cocoon was that's what won the Oscar. Ken Ralston. Well, Ken Ralston did two. He did Cocoon and Back to the Future.
Oh, right.
In 85. I don't know what
Battery's not included? Or was that that's 86, isn't it?
Battery's not included. Well, I think it might be later than that, 87.
Right.
But, yeah, so, Dennis Muren did Young Sherlock Holmes.
Ah.
Which got nominated for VFX. And, I guess... And the other effects nomination, I think, was Return to Oz.
Yes, that's good stuff in it. That has Zoptic stuff in it, actually.
Yeah.
With a flying... So they make that couch out of everything, don't they? Moose's head and something.
But I was a real lover of Cocoon. I loved Cocoon. And, but so, 85, you've got Cocoon, you've got Back to the Future, one of the greatest films ever made. You've got Goonies. You got, it wasn't a bad summer.
That's a pretty good summer, I say. And did you have another Rocky? I think Rocky 5. Rocky 4, wasn't it?
Rocky 4?
Was that?
I think that might have been 86. But
86, yeah.
But someone will
probably right on those
sniping me down if I'm wrong. But
no, yeah, it still holds up very well. I mean, as I said earlier on, some people, if you didn't grow up with it, it may not work as well. But I think most people that sort of watch Goonies, it's part of their childhood, and it still remains a strong nostalgic connection to people's youths, and it's a movie that I'll continue to watch until I'm an old git.
Yeah, I love it. Yes, It's got nostalgic reasons for it, but I still think it's a good film, well-made film. And
definitely show it to my kids when I'm
absolutely.
Well, everyone, that is the end of the commentary. Hope you enjoyed it. Me and Brad will be back with some more in the coming weeks. Okay, everyone, take care and goodbye.
Goodbye.